Hey everybody, so I got some ideas for an alternative criminal rehabilitation system. So as an alternative to the current prison system, and this is mostly in regards to the American prison system, as I am from the land called America, and so I have more experience with its systems and the people whom have used it than any other in the world. So, excuse me, we could offer the choice of banishment or work/therapeutic rehabilitation for oneself as the perpetrator, if that's what you are, and for the one on which one committed the offense onto, which is a weird way of saying to the victim. Offense could be done onto the following principles. You could offend the principles of the community. You can offend a person in the community, and you can offend an object of the community. So we could develop a type of machine that scans energy, which reads the energy of an individual and or an area, and from this detection or visualization, we could see how much hurt/pain/damage has been delivered to both the perpetrator and the victim or person who received the offense, because hurt people hurt people. It's important to remember that although one party chooses to initiate the crime by choosing to do it in the first place, if there's another person who was involved, then both parties now share in that crime, which has its own unique level of trauma, which will also affect each individual differently based on his or her current personality and spiritual/energetic makeup. And of course, the part they had to play in the crime, the effects for the aggressor will be different than for the one whom received the aggression/attack/abuse/accidental offense, whatever the case may be. The whole way we seek and deliver justice today, the definition of justice is behavior that is fair treatment. So, and in my opinion, the treatment they receive today isn't really true justice because it isn't fair, as we incarcerate people without giving them the proper tools and things that they need to perpetuate a healthy lifestyle and learn from their mistakes and heal from the wounds that they have. As hurt people, like I said, tend to hurt people. We need to start looking at these people not as evil creatures, but as creatures in need of more love and true help to help themselves. And again, if they don't want that, then we should let them go where they please, but it can't be here, as they have been proven of committing an active offense against our people's principles and or property or an object. The notion to banish because someone is not behaving within the set of regulations we all have to agree upon before joining is not out of some self-righteous motive to get rid of evil, but rather to not enable it, and to not be neglectful when it is around. As we can look to the current state of affairs today, and a lot of the problem with the world stems from the people's lack of action and lack of an ability to speak and stand up against that which is wrong and stand up for that which is right. And so it is a very important and a vital aspect, of our community to make sure that we do not enable evil and that we are not neglectful when we see its work at hand. To redirect back to the current incarceration system, again, I feel it is not just, and so it needs a complete reevaluation. How could it be a fair system, which is a just system, if it leaves you worse off than when you went in? And how can people expect crime to get better for criminals? How can they expect crime to get any better and for criminals to stop committing crime if they can't find any good work when they get out? Rehabilitation is key. And there are ways to make up tests and give away certificates proving that people have completed X amount of hours of rehabilitative work, and we could invent programs to test people's rehabilitative skills. The current prison system also costs the taxpayers a lot of money without giving the prisoners a real good opportunity to pay their own way and or make their own money. Why not make it a requirement if they do choose to be rehabilitated or to go through with the program that they would also have to put in the work necessary to pay for the program? And why not also allow them to make and save up or spend in the prison store if they want to? Work is good for humans' character, especially good work that is good for all. And why not get them helping out in growing hemp or working on vertical farm growing systems? And you could even see if they want to go over to places like Africa and work on gardens. These types of changes in the correctional system would bring about new and I think good changes to the rehabilitation and good perpetuation of an incarcerated person's life. Excuse me again, sorry. Going back to the idea of developing a type of machine that scans energy, With this machine, you could study each person individually, and then based on that data, you could then see what areas of the brain and body need a good working on. And then once you've collected the data, you could then find what type of new activities and or routines one could implement that would help the person of study to rebuild and strengthen / realign the areas that have been damaged / depleted / neglected. Experimentation may be required in order to see what activity or routine would be best for each individual. As again, we are all different, and so what makes one person commit one crime may not be the same thing that gets someone else to commit the same type of crime. Their motives can be different, and so because they have different reasons for committing that crime, they have different emotions or patterns of information making them commit the crime, and so it would make sense that they would then perhaps need different activities to help counter and heal these wounded areas and deal with those challenging and at times toxic emotions that motivate them to commit crimes. This type of machine can help give us the data we need to see what specific spot someone is at on an energetic and spiritual level. And then we can suggest certain activities and remedies and then do more tests or scans to see what types of an effect these newly introduced activities and or routines had on one. And based on those results, we could continue on with the current treatment, or we can make modifications in order to achieve better results. But with this machine, we will get a detailed picture and reading of what's going on, and so it will just help in help in properly diagnosing people and figuring out the most beneficial treatment for each and every individual medical and rehabilitative situation. Excuse me. I had a word in there that shouldn't have been there, so that was my bad. Part of the brain to look into for help in constructing a type of machine that scans energy. So this is just some information. Again, I'm trying to go back to the human body to try to figure out how to make these inventions. So it was like, well, the third eye. What's the third eye? Seeing colors and auras. So I looked into that. And so there's something called a synesthesia, which a lot of healers claim that they see colors and auras around people. My brother's actually one of them. And it affects the parietal, I probably mispronounced that, and the frontal lobe and the occipital, I know I mispronounced that, cortexes. So they're still doing a lot of studies on this and stuff. This is kind of just a segment of one study, but essentially right here it says they did a study and 6 brain regions of overlapping results emerged. These regions are in sensory and motor regions as well as higher level regions in parietal and frontal lobe. We propose that these regions are related to different cognitive processes inheritably a part of synesthesia and the sensory processes. Finally, we discuss how these functions and structural brain properties may relate in the development of synesthesia. Differences in experimental setup, numbers, and types of synesthesia tested and method of doing it required regions of interest may help explain inconsistent results obtained. So this is just telling what's going on in the human brain, but it's not giving me the exact mechanisms that are allowing synesthesia to work, but it's giving me some clues as to how. So I still need to do a lot more further investigation. I was just sharing with you guys some of the parts of my method of research and development. So, all right, I love you guys and hope you all have a good day. All right, bye.